Good morning, everybody. We're going to talk this month about some of the kind of fun and different things that there are available to do in Casa Grande. I know for the last 2 or 3 years I've been working to try to protect Casa Grande Mountain from development. And the mountain is owned partially by the county, or it's partially in the county jurisdiction, partially in the city of Casa Grande jurisdiction, and partially in the city of Eloy's jurisdiction. What we're trying to do is make sure that we don't allow development to creep up the side of the mountain to a point where they take away that tremendous recreational opportunity for the communities. We also have been working very diligently with the Bureau of Land Management, who owns a small parcel on the south end of the mountain, and the Arizona National Guard, who owns a big piece of the western part of the mountain, to obtain easements from them for us to be able to use that over the next 30, 40, 50 years. Happy to say that earlier this year we were successful finally, after 8 or 9 years of hard work by our Community Services Director, Mary Johnson. We're able to obtain a lease from the Bureau of Land Management that allows us to use the 80 acres at the south end of the park. We are still working with the military on the bigger part of the park, on the or future park on the west side of the mountain, but we're also working on trail building on the east side. I walk every morning just for exercise, but as most of you know, Casa Grande is fairly flat, and it's rare you get to go out and walk hills. The trails we're building are on the east side of the hill. They are within the Casa Grande city limits, even though you access it from the Eloy. Go down Sunland Gin Road, turn west on Erica, and go all the way to the end. And this summer we'll be developing a trailhead there. But the trail construction itself is being done right now. There's a group of young adults from AmeriCorps that are up there trail building Monday through Friday, averaging a little over 200 feet a day a trail. We do have some weekend activities scheduled to trail build. I know the council and I went and cooked lunch for the volunteers a couple of weeks ago. We had 90 people up there trail building. The goal is to build, we have an approved trail plan, and the goal is to build as much of those trails as we can with volunteer labor. Mary and her staff are working to try to obtain an easement on the north end of the mountain that could be accessed off of Peart Road, and then tie that trailhead together with the one on Erica Road so you can start doing trail loops. All different types of difficulty. The trails that the AmeriCorps kids are building are some of the more advanced trails. They're a little higher up on the mountain. A lot of the volunteers that we've got are doing some of the lower trails, but we hope that by this time next year we'll have several loops done that will allow you to park on Peart Road and hike all the way to the Erica Road site, or if you want, you can do a loop from around the lower part of the mountain or the upper part of the mountain. Very exciting project, and I think the thing that certainly I appreciate is that it's volunteer driven. Most of the work has been done at essentially no cost to the residents of the community. And I think that as we get bigger, we need to protect those kinds of resources like Casa Grande Mountain. So if you've not been out there, you want a fun place to hike, great opportunity to see Casa Grande from a totally different perspective, and would really encourage you to go up and take a little hike around the hill. Like I said, Erica Road, go to the end of the road and then go a little bit further. You'll see a parking area. Then you can hike up some of the casual trails to the trails that are being built. Right now, until middle of March, we will have the AmeriCorps kids up there every day working. We were just notified we've got a second group of AmeriCorps kids that will be coming in, I think the middle of March until the middle of May, to continue that trail building, and gives us an opportunity to have a recreational component that not everybody in Arizona is able to use, and being done, like I said, with volunteer labor. It's really a community project. So get up and get out and take a hike. So we'll see how that goes. The second issue I wanted to talk a little bit about today is our new public safety building. Earlier this month we had a ribbon cutting at the facility. It's located on Val Vista Road, just west or just east of Pinal Avenue. It is about a 65,000 square foot building. Replaces a police station that was built in the early 70s that had about a third of that room. And certainly the town over that 40-year period of time has probably tripled in size. It's time that we triple the size of the public safety facility. Really, as you drive out and look at it, I call your attention to the block work on the front of the building. The rock was donated by a local quarry and was hand placed. We have a friend of ours who does rock work like that. It said it was one of the best rock jobs he's ever seen, and it is kind of work that is more artistically driven than it is production driven. Police department moved into the building, I think yesterday, which would have been the 7th of February. They are open for business there. Much more user-friendly than the old police station was, and also has room to grow. We expect that it will accommodate our growth in our police department for the next 10 to 15 years. There's also a community room out there, so that if you have a need to have a meeting for Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, whatever, you can schedule the use of that facility through the police administration office. We also house our fire department, the chiefs and the fire marshal in that same building. Beautiful addition to the community. Was done as one of our bond projects that were approved 3 or 4 years ago. Actually came in a little over $1 million under the budget that we anticipated. We are going to use some of that money to renovate the old station, which will be turned into a dispatch center for police and fire dispatching. And will also be a police substation, so that as the officers are out in their community areas, if they need to go work on paperwork, they'll have a place that they can do that kind of work downtown. Also give them a place to interview witnesses and victims of crime. So if you've not been out to the new facility, encourage you to go out and take a look at it. It's a beautiful building, and like I said, it was done on time, under budget, which is pretty unusual for government work. That's it for today, and always a pleasure to talk to you, and we'll see you next month.